why are you still preparing late for your shots? You know how important it is to prepare early. So the question is, why are you still not reacting and preparing until the ball is bouncing on your side of the court? That's the question that I'm going to be answering in this video and giving you a solution that's finally going to help you to prepare early. Hopefully you find the video helpful. If you do, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel before, it's really appreciated if you could do that as well. So the first thing that you need to do if you finally want to prepare early for your shots is make it an absolute priority within your practice. The hard thing about tennis is there's a lot of different things that we have to do to hit a shot well, but you've got to understand that it's a sequence of events. Early preparation is the key, or being prepared and ready and set up in time is the key to hitting a high quality shot. So if you're not doing that, you have to prioritize that first. And that means when you're rallying, when you're practicing, whatever you're doing, you are watching for your opponent to make contact. And as soon as they make contact, you're trying to read where the ball's going and you're thinking about the flight of the ball and then trying to react and set up in position as quickly as possible. But you have to think about it constantly. You can't allow yourself to get distracted by other parts of the stroke that come after the preparation. Now, in an ideal world, you're also going to be watching your opponent hit the shot. So are they about to hit a topspin shot? Are they trying to hit a slice? Trying to pick up on clues to help you anticipate what shot they're going to hit. Ideally, you're also going to be trying to time your split step so that you're landing just after they make contact, so then you can react, and that will help you to prepare earlier. That's what should happen, but there is a factor that can mean that maybe that isn't the right thing for you to do at the moment. Maybe you should just be focusing on just watching and then reacting, but that's what I want to talk about now. Now that we've talked about the importance of quality focused practice, we've got to address the elephant in the room, and that is that the number one reason that players prepare late for shots is because they can't react fast enough. Their visual system doesn't function well enough to read where the ball is going, and that's why I've just said what I've just said about the split step. Yeah, ideally we want to land just after your opponent's made contact, but if your visual system doesn't respond quickly enough, that's going to mess your timing up and actually slow you down. So the key thing is going to be improving visual function. The good news is that's actually something you can do with training, and I've made a free program to help you with it. I'll place a link to the free program up there, and I'll place a link in the description so that you can start working on your visual system to help you react more quickly. The final part of fixing your preparation is going to be to program in specific footwork steps. It's all about saving time. We're watching them, trying to read what's going on as quickly as we can. We're improving our visual system, how it functions, so we can react faster, but now we need to actually be able to move effectively to the ball. And tennis movements are a little bit unusual. Normally, if I want to walk towards the camera, I'm going to do that, facing where I'm going. But in tennis, I've got to move out to a wide ball. I'm looking down there. That is unusual movement. It's a very strange thing for people to suddenly start doing this, looking in the wrong direction. So if you haven't trained your footwork very specifically and very intentionally, you won't have good quality footwork. This is something you absolutely have to practice without the ball first. You have to do lots of repetitions until it becomes a habit, and then you'll be able to do it on court when you need to. So I want to just very quickly go through a couple of footwork patterns. The first one being the split step. Ideally, feet 2 hip widths apart, at least a hip width and a half, 2 hip widths apart. Most people are too narrow. It doesn't allow them to move quickly. So ideally, a little bit wider. The knees are going to be slightly bent. The body's going to have a slight forwards lean. Ideally, I'm going to be on the balls of my feet, but towards the inner edge of my big toe. So I don't want to be resting on the outside. I'm on the inner edge of my big toe, so then I can move quickly in whatever direction I need to move in. So we need to be landing in this position. If the visual system isn't ready to allow you to land your split step, you can still wait in this position. So you can just have your legs bent, be leaning forwards, resting on the balls of your feet, and then move from that position. So that's the first thing. You just got to practice your split step over and over again. So what does it feel like to just get into that position so you get comfortable with it? Then you've got to practice the first step. And there's 3 different first steps that I recommend that you practice initially. We have a drop step where the foot comes underneath and you do a crossover. But as you do that, you're always going to be working on your unit turn. So the foot will come underneath as you do your unit turn, and then you'll step across and I'll load off the outside leg. Same thing happens on the backhand. If I've got a one-hander, it's still into there. So you're going to practice it in the same way. Just get very familiar with that footwork pattern. And obviously I can practice that same thing on a diagonal if I'm going to be moving back to receive the ball. You can also practice a shuffle from the landing. So instead of dropping the foot under and stepping across, I'm now going to land, step out and do a shuffle. Land, step out and do a shuffle. And again, as I do that, I'm doing my unit turn. I'm programming in that preparation, loading on the outside leg. Same thing, going the other way. Just familiarize yourself, practice it over and over again. And then we also want to practice moving forwards for the short balls. So there, you're going to be stepping and getting side on. So just get familiar with it. Maybe add in a little bit of a side shuffle. But you're trying to go straight away and be reactive. Same thing on the one-handed backhand, same thing on the two-handed backhand. Maybe I'm going to move out diagonally a little bit. But just practicing those over and over again until your unit turn and first step is just a natural flowing habit. You do that combined with improving how the visual system functions and prioritizing it in your practice, and that's how you'll finally fix your late preparation. But it is a process. It's a 3-month, but more realistically a 6-month and 9-month process to do this. But by doing it, by spending the time, it's going to lay the foundations for you to actually fix your preparation and become a much better player. So hopefully that makes sense and you found it helpful. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Any questions or comments, leave them down below, and hopefully by the time I read them, I will have caught my breath and I can reply. If you haven't subscribed to my channel before, much appreciated if you could do that as well, and I'll catch you next time.